What is going on, Jerome's NFL Super Wildcard Weekend, whatever, is upon us, and we got some beautiful games on Saturday, Sunday, as well as a Monday nighter, and it's a lot of fun. I'm glad that they went to this format where they got a playoff game on Monday night, and of course, as you know, Daddy occasionally likes to put a jelly bean or two on the outcome of some of these games, so we wanted to walk through the matchups as well as the spread. And it's interesting. So every wildcard matchup, these teams have played each other in the regular season, so it's kind of unique and awesome. Starting on Saturday, late afternoon, you got the Seahawks at the Niners. San Francisco is 10-point favorites. Brock Purdy and company won 10 straight games, and it's just so whatever. The Seahawks are sort of coming into this kind of whatever. I mean, they barely had to survive against the Rams week 18 to have a chance to qualify, and then the Lions had to beat the Packers. And the Niners are scary, man. Like, I'm not afraid to admit it. That offense is rolling. Purdy has done a great job at limiting mistakes and just getting the ball to Kittle. And now Debo is back, and McCaffrey's been a stud, and that defense is the best in the NFL, respected D'Amico Ryan. So, I mean, this is going to be a tough game. I really don't see how Geno and company go in there and give them a game. So San Francisco swept the season. They had a 27-7 win at Santa Clara earlier in the year, and then of course a 21-13 win in Seattle to clinch the NFC West. So, I mean, 10 points is a lot. 10 points is a lot, but I mean, this is a game that I would not have any part in. But I mean, do you see San Francisco winning a 38-17 type game? I mean, does Seattle even get 17? Who knows? But I mean, I would stay away from this one, but I may lean Niners and just eating the double-digit points here. Saturday night, Saturday. So this is going to be a phenomenal game. Chargers at Jaguars. Jaguars won 31-10 in Duval week 3. So this is a rematch. But, I mean, both teams are extremely different from early on in the season. And the Chargers, I mean, Justin Herbert's first playoff game, it's going to be super hyped. And Jacksonville, of course, Trevor Lawrence's first playoff game. Duval and the crowd is going to be loud and proud. And so there's only two games where there's road favorites, and the Chargers are marginally 1-point favorites. So I don't really consider that much. But I do think that Jacksonville's got a little something. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, even though he didn't do a lot in the Tennessee Titans game to win the AFC South, Trevor Lawrence has balled this year. Absolutely balled out. And I think that the Jaguars defense has been opportunistic. I think that they have a chance to get a signature win very early on in the Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson era. So I'm going Duval. Like, I'm taking the point. I think the Jaguars win outright. Well, it can't be a tie in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think Jacksonville gets it done. Sunday, the noon game. So you have the 9-8 Dolphins heading back up to Orchard Park to take on the 13-3 Bills. Now, I do think that the Bills, like, they have this aura and energy. I love how everyone surrounded Damar Hamlin with love and prayer. And I think the Bills. Are the Bills a team of destiny this year? Where it just seems like it. I mean, the way that they woodshedded the Patriots, Naheem Hines taking 2 back to the house, which is just ridiculous. But Bills are 10.5-point favorites here, and it's always tough. It's always tough to beat so they split in the regular season. Miami won 21-19, and then the Bills came out ahead later on in the season, 32-29 up at Buffalo. Remember, that was that Saturday night game. You had the snow coming down. It was really cool, man. But I don't know. I really don't know. 10.5 is a lot, but the Dolphins may be down Tua as he's still in concussion protocol, so maybe that makes sense. So maybe the Bills end up winning like a 35-20 type game. I mean, do they even get 20 in this spot? I mean, hell, the Dolphins scored 11 the hard way against the Jets. So, I mean, it's one of those spots where it's like the Niners 10, but here you have the 10.5, so you have the hook as well. But I'm going to stay away from this one, but I'm going to go Bills minus 10. You know what? I'm in. I'm in Bills minus 10.5. Again, team of destiny, getting it done. Speaking of teams of destiny, Minnesota fighting Vikings. So the 9-7-1 Giants roll back into historic U.S. Bank Stadium, play the 13-4 Vikes. Now, they played on Christmas Eve. Vikings won 27-24, pulling it out at the end. Greg Joseph kicking a 61-yard field goal from frickin' Litchfield. It was great. Now, the Vikings, they cannot take the Giants lightly. The Giants are going to come in pissed off. They remember what happened on Christmas Eve. They're rested. They rested most of their starters week 18. They had an extra week to prepare for the Vikings. Hopefully the Vikings were doing the same for the Giants. And I don't want the Vikings to be resting on their laurels. It's like, oh, we had a 13-4 season and we hosted a home playoff game. No, win a home playoff game. Advance and see what happens, man. So the Vikings are 3-point favorites here. I think the Vikings finally get it done. I think the Vikings finally have themselves a nice, beautiful double-digit win at home, as opposed to 11-0 in one-score games. I think the Vikings win a 29-17, 29-14 type game. So we go from there. So give me the Vikings in this spot. Sunday Night Football. Now, I'm sure that NBC is banking on Lamar Jackson returning for the playoffs, but the line sort of reflects that he may not be back, and maybe it's Huntley, maybe it's Brown, maybe it's whoever. But I mean, I think the Bengals are sneaky good right now. And, of course, they're reigning, defending AFC champions. They just went to the Super Bowl last year. Joe Burrow is Joe Cool when it comes to the playoffs. Jamar Chase is hopping. You got Mixon, and that defense is starting to come together. So I think obviously going to monitor this one. I think this line gets a lot tighter if it's confirmed that Lamar is going to play, if he has a couple of good days of practice this week. I doubt it, though. But if you're just going to take a blind and Lamar's not playing, I'm taking the Bengals -6.5 all day. I think they win by 10+. They split this season. Baltimore won 19-17 early in the year. Cincinnati won Week 18, 27-16. So this is one of those quirky back-to-back games for both teams. But it'll be a good game either way. And lastly, Monday Night Football. So you got the Cowboys favored on the road by 3 against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Now, I mean, the Bucs have had an up-and-down season, but you remember Week 1, they did go into Dallas and beat the brakes off the Cowboys 19-3. Dak looked terrible that game. I mean, Dak it's uncanny how good he can look and how bad he can look. It's kind of crazy, man. But what's going to happen now? Are the Cowboys going to be one and done? Is Tom Brady going to do the damn thing again? I understand that the Cowboys are 12-5 and have absolutely blown the doors off a couple teams. I mean, the Vikings being one of them. But the Bucs, even being at 8-9, it's still Tom Brady. Like, I still can't get away from that. It is still Tom freaking Brady. If you need a drive at the end, he'll somehow magically put something together. And the Bucs, I mean, if they're getting healthy, I mean, they still can get after the quarterback, and they still have Evans. So, I mean, maybe it's time for playoff Lenny. I don't know, but I'm going to take the home dog. That's right. I'm going to take the home dog. Give me the Buccaneers on the points on Monday Night Football. Again, weird things can happen, and I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I will bet against Dak and the Cowboys in the playoffs, and Mike McCarthy, by the way. So we'll go from there. But that's it. Let's take a look at the Super Wildcard Weekend lines. Again, entertainment purposes only. What we're potentially going to put a jelly bean or two on. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.